practical wisdom for proactive living. Remember, where you find yourself tomorrow is a function of the actions and decisions you take today. Life is not complex, it is only demanding.
Hello, friend. Welcome. You're welcome to the Principles of Life series. My name is Akin Awolaja, and I'll be taking you on this teaching today titled The Pathway to a Transformed Life. This is the fifth week of the Principles of Life series. I believe you are having a great time. I do believe that you have learned some things from the beginning when we started the series. This is the fifth series. And I believe as you continue to learn and to put to use the things that you have learned, the desired change that you want to see in your life, in your career, in your marriage, in your relationship, in your ministry, in your organization, will start to come. The principles of life was set up by the creator of life. I said it in the first teaching. If ordinary men would make products and have a manual, how much more the only wise God? I believe God set up this world and he didn't just leave it there. He put the principles of life in place in our favor so that when we understand how the principles of life works and we engage them, we will have the desired result that we want, the desired result that we want to experience. So it's up to us really to understand the manual. The manufacturer will always add the manual to any product so that we can maximize the product. But the manufacturer will not read the manual for us. The manufacturer has tried as much as possible to communicate how to use the product. But it's up to us to decide to read it, to decide to study it, to decide to understand it, to decide to practice it. So you cannot blame the manufacturer for the product that he has given to you. You have to understand what he has done and start using it. I gave an example sometime in a teaching that I did that understanding varies. And, if you have a car, as a car user, you have a vehicle, there's a level of knowledge that you have about the car. And when the car gets, has a defect, or it's not working, you take it to a motor mechanic. And at the garage, the person looking at the car has a specific level of understanding about the car as well. But if you really want to understand the car, you have to take it to the manufacturer. The manufacturer is the one who made the car, has an understanding because it was intentionally created. He knows what to do. The company knows what to do. So we're going back to the principles of life. If you want life to be good to you, if you want to enjoy life and enjoy your stay here before your time is over, you have to understand what the creator of life has set up from the very beginning so that you can maximize your living here on the earth and enjoy life. I strongly believe, and I've always said, that life is not complex, it's only demanding. So for this week, I believe that the things that you'll be hearing would change your life positively. I want to believe that there are more people who wishes for changes than there are people who really want the change. Change is a product of a choice. We have to understand that things don't just change on their own. They change because you and I change them. There's a quote that I love. Is one of my favorite quotes. It's by James Allen. James Allen said, when you are ready to learn, your teacher will appear. And I said the teacher has always been there. The only thing is that you have not been ready. And the day you get ready, the teacher will appear. The teacher will show up. The teacher that will instruct you of what you need to do that you don't know and show you how to do it. But the teacher will not do it for you. And once you start engaging all those things that you've been instructed, you will start to see the changes you desire. Your teachers will show you what you don't know that you need to know so that your life can change, your situation can change, your business can change, your relationship can get better. And when you start engaging these instructions and these instructions that comes, you start seeing the changes you desire. The change you expect must first start from you, and it ends with you. The change for transformation does not just happen because we say them, it happens because we are involved. It's one thing for you to say something, it's another thing for you to be involved in the change. At Wise Living, the things that we do is to expound biblical principles to people. And our mandate is very simple, is to help people see what they have that they can't see. To help them to be able to take what is theirs that they don't know is theirs, and for them to enjoy life. Life is there to be enjoyed. Life was not created as a burden. Life was created as a blessing. But there are things you must know. There are things that you must engage for you to get the blessing that God has created into life. This time, I want you to listen and be ready inside you. The change will always start from within. The change you want to see in your career, in your business, in your marriage, in your ministry, in your organization, in your environment, starts from within. There are a few examples I'm going to be expounding from the Bible that, they are so real. It will help us to appreciate how a transformed life can be experienced. There was a man in the Bible called Zacchaeus. Zacchaeus was a tax man, and he had defrauded people, charged people unnecessarily, charged more than what was required. And this man was wealthy. This man was very, well-to-do. People didn't like him. But Zacchaeus wanted change in his life and didn't know he didn't know how to go about it. So Zacchaeus saw and heard that Jesus was in town. And this rich man wanted to meet Jesus, ran to where Jesus was, but because he was a short man, he wasn't tall, he couldn't see where Jesus was, and he climbed the tree to see where Christ was. Now, from a normal perspective, a wealthy man would not go to that extent to be climbing a tree to see who he was. No, a normal person would not do that, especially if you're wealthy. But this man wanted change within him. He wanted change in his life. And the most important thing was that when Christ got to the place of where Zacchaeus is, Jesus Christ stopped and said, Zacchaeus, come down. And Zacchaeus immediately said, I'm going to give back what I've taken, unlawfully. I'm going to give it back to the people. I mentioned the percentage that he was going to return. And Jesus said, Zacchaeus, he said, salvation has come to you today. I believe that Zacchaeus was ready for that change. He didn't know how to go about it, but God saw that he was ready. And the factors that led to the change started coming together, and Zacchaeus was visited, and Zacchaeus' life was transformed. Another man in the Bible was the Ethiopian eunuch. The Ethiopian eunuch was coming from, Jerusalem, went to worship, and I believe that he must have had something there that he didn't really understand, and he didn't maybe have the opportunity to ask. And on his way home, he was looking at the scriptures to understand what exactly was said. And this man was trying to fathom the thing that he heard and couldn't understand it. But inside him, I believe he was saying, I need to understand this. I want to understand this. This is something that I need to know. And all of a sudden, a man called Philip appeared. And Philip asked him, do you understand what you're reading? He said, no. He said, how can I understand it except I get someone who knows what he's talking about to expound the scriptures to me? And one of the things that happened was that Philip joined his chariot, and Philip started to teach from where the man was and started expounding the scriptures to him. And this Ethiopian eunuch understood what he was saying, and the change that he wanted came to him. That man was ready for change. That man was ready for a transformation. There was something inside him that wanted more. There was something inside him that wanted to change. And the right person came along, and he had the resource materials at his disposal, and his change happened suddenly. There was a man that was sick. They called him the paralytic man. The man lived in Capernaum. And according to the Bible, Jesus had been to Capernaum before. But I believe when Jesus went on his first visit, the man missed Jesus Christ. But he heard of so many things that Jesus Christ did. And I believe that changed the desire on his inside to see that if this man can come back to this town, I'm going to meet him. That was what was on his inside. And he had some good 4 friends. And this man had again that Jesus Christ came again to Capernaum. And one of the things that they did was that the 4 friends carried this man and came from a long distance for them to see Christ, to be healed. And when they got to the place, the whole place was packed. There was no entrance for them to get to see Christ. And immediately they went through the roof, removed the roof for the man to go, in from the roof to see Christ. And that was exactly what happened. And while everybody was listening to what Christ was saying, this man came from the roof and he landed in front of Christ. And Christ, the Bible says, saw their faith. And when he saw their faith, he said, wow, this man is ready for change. And he told him, he said, rise up and walk. And that was exactly what happened. That man was ready for change. I believe it's been said that when preparation meets opportunity, result is born, success is born, change is born. But the opportunity must meet with the preparation. If you're not prepared when opportunity comes, you won't even know it's opportunity. If you are not prepared when the people around you, the situation around you that will enhance the change comes, you won't even notice it. So you have to be prepared. You have to be prepared. There was another man in the Bible called Naaman. Naaman was a general in the army. He had, different accolades. He was a strong man. But there was a problem. This man had he was leprous. And I believe that he was a good man as well, because his servant, a male servant who was a slave, called and said, to him, he said, my master should not be having this kind of crisis. I know of someone that can, take this leprosy away. And when Naaman heard that, he told the person who was under authority, the king, and, took permission to go and seek for solution for his problem. And Naaman did not sit with his problem. He went to see. And he got to the king, and the king of Israel said, I don't have the power to take your leprosy away. And he said, am I God? And a man in that country called Elisha, who was a prophet, heard the story and requested Naaman to come. You see, no matter what you are going through, if you start with a desire on your inside for change, one of the things that happens is that situations, circumstances, people, everything will start coming together. Everything will start coming together because you are ready for that change. You are ready for the change. Things will start working together. People will start coming to you. You will start meeting people. Situations and circumstances will start working in your favor. And at the end of the day, you will see the change. So as I was saying, Naaman went to Elisha, and from his past experiences with people, he expected Elisha to come out to tell him what to do, how to do things. But Elisha never came out. Elisha sent his assistants and told him, tell him to go and wash. And tell him to go and wash himself, and give him a specific, place, a river to go for him to wash himself. And Naaman was angry. He said, I thought this man would come out, instruct me, tell me to jump, tell me to dance, tell me to do things, and the thing would disappear. I believe he has had those experiences before, and the changes did not happen. So one of his servants said, you're a very good man, and if you were asked to do something hard, you would have done it. Now this man is telling you to do these simple things. Won't you do it? And Naaman, being someone who will listen, if you are going to change, you have to start listening. You have to start listening to the right people, start listening to the right things, and start doing them if you want that change. So Naaman did exactly what Elisha instructed, and before he knew it, the Bible says his skin became like that of a newborn baby. The leprosy left him. But one thing I want to say again, Naaman was ready for change. When you are ready for change, the things around you, the people that you need to meet, the situations around you, everything will start to come together for your favor. Remember, there was another man in scripture before I go on called Cornelius. Cornelius didn't really know God, but he prayed to him, he fasted, he gave alms to people, he did everything that he knew how to do. And God saw that this man still needed Jesus Christ. I'm a believer in Jesus Christ, and I believe salvation has been made available for everyone, but it's up to you to receive it. If somebody wants to give you a gift and you said you don't want it, there's nothing the person can do. But the gift of salvation has been given to everyone, but it's up to you to make that choice. I pray that you make that choice. It's for your own good. Cornelius was doing all this, and he couldn't get to God. Then an angel appeared and instructed him on what to do. And what he wanted to experience came to him and came to his household. You see, when you are ready to change, things will start changing. When you are ready to change, situation and circumstances will start coming together. All the examples I've given, they are real. In my own personal life, the change in my life started when I wanted, I was desperate to see changes around me. I wanted to see more things happening around me. I knew life was more than what I was seeing. I wanted more. I wanted to see things change better, positively, and things started changing. And the truth is that things have not stopped changing since then. I'm living a transformed life. I'm experiencing great things. I have a great family, a great organization. Things are happening. I have great relationship. But it all started from me. I've lived a wonderful life, and I'm experiencing more. And I still want to live a wonderful life because the process is the same. What I'm saying is what I'm teaching this morning, I've practically applied it in my own life. It is working for me. And I believe that if you do the same thing, you will have the same experience. One of the things I love about the principles of life is that it's not partial. The principles of life does not discriminate. The principle of life works for everyone that would engage it. So, my friend, what am I saying? If you engage these things that you're going to be hearing this morning, you will have your own testimonials, you will have your own story. And lastly, I will say, please pass it on. Share it with somebody else. We can all fly at the same time without crashing in the air. So, when you are ready for change, when you are ready for a transformed life, things around you will start to come. You will start meeting people. Some people call this pathway to a transformed life the law of attraction. They say, when you start to change, things will start to come, people will start to come, situation will start to come to you. I've had it being said while growing up that no condition is permanent. I don't believe in that. The condition will remain permanent until you change. It might even get worse. You change and the situation will change. You change and the challenges will change. The change always starts from you. I would say it is the responses you give to life that will determine what life responds back to you. It is your positive result that will change the opinion of people around you. I don't know what people have said about you. I don't know what people have said about your situation, your career, your business, your marriage, your relationship. If you can put these simple principles, they are major principles, but simple. If you can put them to work, you'll have a new story to tell. Today, I'm going to be talking about 6 major things that would help you have a transformed life. You will experience a transformed life from time to time as long as you keep on doing these 6 things. The number 1 thing is a desire. You have to have a desire. See beyond now. See beyond your present situation. Don't settle with the circumstances. Don't think this is how it's going to be for life. Inside you want more. Inside you want to change. Inside you know that it can be better. Now, the truth about desire is this. Nobody can desire for you, really. Everything that we're teaching here about the principles of life has to do with you. So the desire must start from you. When the desire starts from you, then things will start getting designed. But desire, a strong desire for positive change, a strong desire to see things around you change, a strong desire to have your environment change, a strong desire to have a better relationship, a strong desire to have a better marriage, everything starts from you. So you need a desire, a strong desire for change. The number two thing that you will need is a decision. Many people are not committed to their desire. You need to have a conviction concerning what you desire. It must be conviction driven. You need to settle within you that you're going to do everything that is required in the right way, every right thing that you need to do for your change to happen. So you need to make a decision, and that decision must be full of conviction. That is what is going to make it work. Not just having desires, not just having wishes, but making decisions to be committed to the things that you need to do to make it happen. Remember, change does not happen on its own. We change, then things change around us. We first change, then situation around us changes. The number three thing is a positive attitude. Attitude is everything. Some people have a wrong attitude to life. Some people have a lazy attitude to life. If you have a positive attitude to life, then you will know that things will change. Don't settle for less. Don't settle with the situation. Have a positive attitude no matter what the situation is. Your attitude will help you put in the best into whatever it is that you are doing. The same situation that has made some people is the same situation that has killed others because of attitude. Attitude matters. So it doesn't matter about what is happening around you. Your attitude matters. Your attitude matters. So have a positive attitude to life. These are the things that you need to have inside you for things to start to change. The number four thing that you need to know is discovery. I believe the things that we don't know is more than the things that we know. So you need to know more. Where you are presently, it might be a function of ignorance. And, most of the time, there are two things that affects people. There are two things that limits people. They become victims of life because they are not willing to do the right thing. They become victims of life because they are ignorant about things. So it means you need to start learning. And this is where your teachers comes in. You need to start reading. You need to start studying. You need to start getting materials, books, CDs, listen to messages on the internet, listen to iPod. An example is like this one. You need to start engaging yourself and getting yourself educated. It's not just about reading. It's not just about studying. It's basically about understanding the things that you need to do. If you have ever failed any subject before and you retook the subject, maybe you failed, you got a D, or you got a failure, you failed that subject. Now you started moving around with people who have A stars in that subject, and they start expounding a subject to you, start teaching you. Now, from the moment you understand that subject, your result has started changing. Now, there's nothing wrong with the subject. The thing that is wrong is with you because you don't understand it. Nothing wrong with you as a person, but something is wrong because you don't understand it. The moment you understand that subject, your result will start to change. So you have to learn. There are things that you have to know. And when you know the right things, you do the right things, you get the right result. And that is how it works. You need to start to seek. You need to start to ask. You need to start to knock. For you to enter, you need to knock. The door will be open. For you to find, you need to start to seek. For you to be answered, you need to start asking questions. So these are the things that you have to do. When it comes to discovery, you need to take the step. The number 5 thing is persistent engagement. It's one thing to know what to do, is another thing to do it. It's one thing to know what to do, is another thing to be committed in doing it. So you have to do what is required, but you have to keep on doing it. You have to keep on doing it. You have to be persistent in engaging the discoveries you have made. This is what is going to make the difference. This is what will start the result process that you need. Before the seed becomes the proceeds, it must go through the process. The seed must go through the process before it becomes the result that it desires. So you need to engage the discoveries that you have made, because your life is now changing, you're getting educated, so you need to put to use what you have learned. I keep saying there's no point knowing something and not engaging it. It means you don't understand it. If you understand it enough, you start engaging it and you start having the right result. Lastly, the number 16 is that your result will start appearing. From level to level, little by little, your result will start to change. Your life will change. Your life will start to change. Your environment will start to change. Your relationship will start to change in the direction of what you want to see. And you will start seeing the changes. Then the changes goes from one level to another, one level to another, one level to another, till you see what you really have a desire. You had a desire for on your inside. This is how the pathway to a transformed life begins. This is how it ends. So the bulk starts with you. It ends with you. I believe that the things that you have had today, if you start to engage them, will give you a transformed life, the kind of life you desire. There are people that I've met in my life that, wanted to see some great things in their life, but they started with a desire and went through these stages, and before they knew it, what was inside their heart became an experience. I believe that what is inside your heart, the positive things that you want to see concerning your children, the positive things you want to see concerning your relationship, your marriage, your business, your career, your ministry, whatever it is that you want to see, you have a desire within you that you want to see these positive things. If you go through this process, I believe you will have the transformation that you seek. I just want to thank you once again for taking time to listen to me this week. I believe that you're going to have a great week. I believe you put the best into this week. And I pray that, God's blessing comes upon everything that you do. Thank you for listening. Have a great week, and God bless.
We believe you've enjoyed listening to this life-transforming, insightful teaching. For more information, to purchase any of our resource materials, log on to www.wiseliving.org.uk. Send us an email at info@wiseliving.org.uk or call us on 0794 7416 044 or 0797 040 9757, or write to us at Wise Living, PO Box 936, Dagenham, Essex, RM9 9JL, United Kingdom. Wise Living, changing you.